Hello, everybody. I'm Stephanie Ann Hare, and welcome to my show, Girls Gone Vegan with Stephanie Hare. And this is the new season 2023, and this is episode number 1. And I'm so excited to be here with you again. It's been a long time since I've gotten in the kitchen and cooked for Girls Gone Vegan. Tonight, I'm going to make shepherd's pie. And it's going to be vegan and it's going to be delicious and I can't wait to try it. I'm so excited. So let me show you the ingredients we're going to use. I'm going to be using some red potatoes as well as I've got one sweet potato here and we're going to mix that for the topping. And then we are going to use some zucchini, some celery, some carrots, some green beans, some broccoli, yellow onion, and some delicious garlic. You've always got to have some garlic, and some organic frozen peas. And let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, I've started my water boiling already, but we are going to cut your potatoes and cube them and get them going in some boiling water. And I already started it just to save a little time. So I'm just going to go ahead and cube them into fourths or big chunks because we're going to mash them up about that size. So just go ahead and cut them all up and let's get them boiling because that is the crust for your shepherd's pie. Traditionally, people use ground beef or lamb, but we're making this vegan, so we are just going to use some great vegetables. And you can add any vegetables that you want to this. So don't think that you only have to use what I'm saying. You can use whatever you want. And then I just kind of cut off any imperfections, any bruising as I go along here, as I cut my potatoes up. So I'm so happy to be here. It's been a while since I've been in the kitchen. Oh, I've been in the kitchen a lot. Because I own a restaurant and I'm always cooking there 4 days a week. But doing Girls Gone Vegan is a whole different thing. I have a few vegan dishes on the menu at the restaurant, but most people want traditional American food, and that's what I do. And as I've told you before, if you've watched me before in Girls Gone Vegan, I don't eat vegan all the time. But I do really like it, and I like learning to cook new ways. And so this is something that I do most of the time, but I eat whatever I want depending on how I feel. So, this doesn't mean because, you watch this or that you are learning that you have to eat vegan every second. It's just nice to have some plant-based meals to freshen up your menus, get out of the same old meat and potato rut. But also, it's more affordable and it's healthy. It can actually lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, lower your cortisol, and it's a great way to get high-packed nutrition in small bites. So now I've got the sweet potato. I'm leaving the skin on. Again, I just cut off any blemishes I have on there. And now I'm going to get that going. And it's not going to take that much. We're going to make the shepherd's pie in a container like this. So this is exciting. And now I'm going to go ahead and start I have a cast iron skillet here, which is a great way to cook. And I'm going to get this heated up. Put it on a medium heat. I'm going to go about 5.5. I'm going to take some organic olive oil and put it in so that it can heat up a little bit, because the next thing we do as soon as I'm done with these potatoes is we are going to start cutting up our veggies to saute for our shepherd's pie filling. Oh, we've been having rain and hail and snow and then sun and then all over again, back and forth for a few weeks here. So this is a great meal for that kind of weather. When it's cold, stormy, this is a nice comfort food that is great on a cold day. So I'm excited to have this. I know Frank is excited too, so we can't wait. I wish you could be here to taste it with us. I will be posting the recipe in the group, so you can go and get it and try it, and then you can look at the video if you need any help on what you think you should need to be doing it or how you do it. I'm cutting the carrots up now. I've already washed them. I'm not peeling them. There's a lot of nutrition in the carrots, so I'm not going to peel them. And I'm just going to cut them into little small, diced up, but not minced, but small chunks. And we're getting our olive oil going here. And I'll go ahead. I'm going to use 2 carrots for this. So I hope you're enjoying this. And I hope that you give it a try. And if there's any suggestions for things that you would like to see me make, please let me know. I know I did this show, I think, for a couple years, a few years ago, actually, and I covered a lot of different recipes, but since then, I've tried a lot of new things, so I'm excited to be bringing those to you. I just made the greatest buffalo tofu sandwich the other day for Frank and I, and it was absolutely delicious. It had sauteed mushrooms and onions and vegan mozzarella cheese on it, and it was really yummy and delicious. You wouldn't even think that you're eating vegan. You just would think that you're eating something that's super delicious. So that was a fun thing to do, and it'll just get better as it goes along. It was the first time I made it, but it was delicious, and I will be making that on here for you too. I've also been making some really delicious orange tofu over rice with vegetables, kind of like the type of orange chicken you would get at a Chinese restaurant. And man, that is really good, the sauce that I made. So we're going to go ahead and put these diced carrots into this hot pan and get that going. Now let's go to the onion. I've got 1 large white onion, and we're going to cut that up. I always cut off the root first, and then I cut a little side so that I have stability with the onion so I can cut it. So it gives it a nice, stable place to be. I've got a bowl here to put all my little ends and things in to keep it neat, which is a good way to go. Keep everything organized, and then you don't have a huge mess to clean up. You can just go and eat your meal and not have this huge mess to clean up. I like to clean up as I go along when I cook. It doesn't have to be a huge disaster. I see that that's a lot of people's complaints about cooking is they say, oh, but I just can't clean up the mess. If you clean up as you go along, it's a lot simpler, and by the time you've got your food almost done, you have only a couple things to pick up, and then you can go sit down and relax and enjoy your meal. So I love onion. We're dicing everything up at about a medium chop, medium size. It's not super minced because we want to have some substance here. Since we're not using meat, like I said, usually it's ground beef or ground lamb. So we want kind of little bits so that you have the chunkiness of some good vegetables in there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some of this in there. Oh my gosh. As soon as we start cooking onions with carrot, and we're going to add some celery, and that is a mirepoix, which is the base for so many soups and so many different things. I always like to start a lot of things with the mirepoix, which is onions. Ooh, this is strong. Onions, celery, and carrot. It's a delicious, delicious base for a lot of different soups and sauces and dishes. Okay, so we're going to leave these onions chunky. Oh my gosh, it's already smelling good. Seasonings we're going to use garlic. We're going to use poultry seasoning because we want some sage and thyme in there. Add some really delicious comfort flavors. Let's go ahead and get our mirepoix going, get the celery going. We're going to dice this up. Again, not super minced, but fairly nice size. We'll run through it once cutting it into little slices, and then we'll go take the knife and go back the other way and kind of dice it up really nicely. And I'm using 3 stalks of celery with the leaves on. I love the leaves. They're so good for you. There's lots of good vitamins in the celery leaves. And they're also very fragrant, and they just add a lot of flavor. So you want to add your leaves in there. So this is really great. Oh, it's smelling good already. And I'm excited to have this tonight. I was talking to my daughter last night about, she was making some dinner. And she doesn't cook that much, so she was really excited to make something from scratch. And we were talking about it, and I asked her, because I said, you know, we could Zoom call and cook some things. And I asked her what were some things that she wanted to cook. And she mentioned shepherd's pie. And I thought, oh, wow. And that triggered me. And I thought, you know what? I've been wanting to do my cooking show again. So I'm going to go vegan today and make a vegan shepherd's pie. And it's going to be great. So our potatoes are over here boiling already. Beautiful. So we're well underway. I think this is going to be actually a very quick meal. I think we're going to be very surprised. We'll probably have it done within a half hour. So that's always exciting to have meals that you can have done in a half hour. You think you have to, you know, it takes all day and hours to cook a home-cooked meal, and it doesn't. We're going to turn on our oven now that I'm talking about this. I'm going to put it at 350. Go ahead and get that started because that is going to brown the mashed potatoes on top, and that's what's going to give it the pie effect, the crust for the pie, the shepherd's pie effect. So here I've got my celery. I'm almost done with the pieces. I'm doing this one a little bit smaller, but not much. Everything I'm doing at a pretty coarse chop. So as you watch me, you'll see I am not a cordon bleu trained chef, but I am what I say a street cook. I've learned from, I started cooking at 14 for my family, and then I continued on. I did have a foreign foods class in high school that was very fun. It was a very fun. Every week we'd cook from a different country, and that was exciting. But honestly, I've been in the restaurant business over 40 years, and I started learning to cook because I love food, and that is my love language. So I started learning to cook, and every restaurant I worked in, I learned how to make what I liked from them. So now we're going to add the celery. Oh my gosh, this is great. We're well underway. Let's get a spatula here. Stir it up. The onions and the carrots. And now I've added the celery. It's just going to really make this so great. We're going to really start smelling it. And then I'm going to put some of this poultry seasoning in it. And then you are just going to think that it's Thanksgiving. I wish you could smell this, because that's where it gets really good. I wish we had smell-o-vision, but we're smelling it here in the house, and it's, like I said, it's a cold day, stormy day, so having a delicious home-cooked meal that's warm and yummy and comforting, like a shepherd's pie. I mean, come on, don't we always think of mashed potatoes when we think of a comfort food? So this is going to be great. So now I've added some poultry seasoning. This is really going to get this underway on the smells, on the comfort food. Yep, here we go with the celery, the onion, and the carrot. Now we've got some poultry in there. We're doing great. Now we're going to add some broccoli. I'm going to dice this up again in a small chop, not minced, but just small chop. And that's going to add so much deliciousness as well as nutrition to this meal. And so I'm excited for that. You can use any vegetables you want to. If you don't like broccoli, don't do it. If you want to add mushrooms, add some mushrooms. Whatever you want, it's your dish. I'm just showing you the basic way that you can create it. You can put any ingredients you want in it. And that's the deal, is you can always tweak. I teach cooking lessons, and each person I set up with the ingredients, when we make a dish, but they get to make their own call on it. If they don't like onions, they don't put onions in. If they don't like seafood, they don't put seafood in. It just depends on whatever the dish is. But they can add and omit whatever they want and make it their own. That's the beautiful thing about cooking. You don't have to be strict and follow a certain guideline. Okay, so this is good. It's a nice, small chopped broccoli. We're going to get some green beans in here. And let's see, we're 15 minutes. We're doing good. I'm going to cut up these green beans again. They're going to be just cut up and little chopped pieces. Not in the big old green beans, but they're just going to be little chopped, diced pieces that's going to add some great flavor, add some good nutrition, and really bulk up this recipe so that we will be so enjoying it. And we will have all this deliciousness just like we were having a real shepherd's pie, and it might even taste better with all these great different flavors in it. You can also add any type of spice you like. I'm going to add a little bit of my, this is dash, I think. Well, let me find it here. I had it, but I put it back, I think. But let's get all the ingredients in here first. So now I've got zucchini, and again, we're going to do zucchini in small dices. So I'm cutting it in little strips, and we're only going to use half the zucchini for this. And then we're going to run through it with a knife, and then we're going to go back through it a couple times here and make it into smaller bite-sized pieces. Now, this is exciting. Zucchini cooks very fast, so that's why I go from, the way I cook my vegetables are from the longest to the fastest. So I use the hardest, the carrots, the broccoli, the harder vegetables go in first so they can cook longer. And then the fast cooking vegetables I cook last. That way you're not overcooking and making it a big mushy mess, but everything's cooking at the timing it needs. Carrots, onions, and stuff like that I always do first to get that great flavor going. Again, we're just doing small diced here. It's going to be great. So excited. We've also got some frozen peas we're going to add. Add about a half a bag because that's going to give it some real flavor here. I've got some frozen organic peas. If you have fresh ones available, use the fresh. They're great. So I'm going to do about half a bag, which is about 6 ounces. Okay, so now let's stir this all up. This is all looking great. And then we're going to get the garlic in here. I want to add the garlic last because we don't want to burn it. Sometimes you add garlic, and if you add it too soon, it burns. And then we're going to add, I've got some kosher salt here. We're going to add about 3 pinches, large pinches of kosher salt. I always like to salt things less because you can't go back if you put too much salt. So I like to salt it less, and then everybody can add their own salt to it. Okay, now I'm doing black pepper. I like a lot of black pepper. So I'm using my pepper grinder, and I'm just covering everything with some black pepper. That's looking good. Now I'm going to give everything a quick stir here. This is really looking yummy. I wonder if you can see it. It's looking great and smelling wonderful. Trust me, it's smelling wonderful. Now let's get this garlic going. So I've got 3 big cloves of garlic, and what I like to do is to smash it. Great way to get it right out of the skin. Just smash it, give it a hard smash. And look at this, it pulls right out of the skin. You don't have to mess around. And I love using fresh garlic instead of buying those pre-garlics that are already done. Sometimes there's additives in them, but it's so affordable to buy your cloves fresh, and it really takes no time at all to chop them up and mince them up and add them fresh to your meals. There's nothing like real fresh garlic. So try and get used to doing it, and it's really faster than you would think. And this way, by smashing it, You see how fast it just came out of the skin? Now I'm just going to mince this up. Kind of, this one I want minced. I don't want it diced very big. Garlic is very strong. It actually has a lot of hotness to it. And so you'll find in your hands, you'll feel it. If you have any cuts or anything, it will burn a little bit. But it could actually be considered kind of hot. So you want to really think about that if you have any little cuts on your hand, because it will hurt. But we want to cook it, and we want to mince it up really nice and small, because not everybody wants to take a big bite of garlic. That's not what we're looking for in this dish. We're not looking for big chunks of garlic. We're looking for nice minced up flavor of garlic all throughout the dish to make it wonderful. So let's get this in there. I'm just mincing it up, smaller than everything else. We're going to put it in, and then we are going to get this stirred up and let this keep cooking, and we're going to start working on our potatoes. I think potatoes are almost done, and let's see how they're going. This is looking great. I'm going to put a little bit more poultry seasoning here, because I really want it to have that flavor of the sage, the thyme, the parsley, and of course you can use some fresh parsley and all those fresh herbs. If you have them, just do them all fresh, and it's a great thing. Okay, let me check these potatoes and see. They are ready for mashing. So the good thing is I have them in a colander that's in the pot already. So that's going to make it easier to mash. So let's turn this off. See how hot that is? That's pretty hot. Grab yourself. Don't want to burn yourself. You know how many times I've burned myself and gave myself third-degree burns because I didn't use my pot holders and I grabbed hot pans. I'm getting a lot better now at it. So I've got my potatoes out here. I'm going to get rid of the water. Just pour it in here. And then I'm going to turn this back onto the burner while it's hot. We'll put it on low, because I don't like my potatoes to get cold while I'm mashing them up. But look at, we've got these beautiful sweet potatoes and red potatoes, organic new potatoes. Okay. And now, because this is vegan, we aren't using any butter or cream. We are using almond milk. So and we're going to use a little vegetable broth, a little organic vegetable broth. So this is a great thing. That's just going to give it a little more flavor. So first of all, I'm going to do a couple big helpings of salt and pepper in here. Okay. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of the vegetable broth. And just a little bit of almond milk, because I'm using both. You can use either or. Sometimes I just use either or for mashed potatoes. This time I'm choosing to use both because I just want a little more flavor. But sometimes you can just use one or the other instead of butter and milk. Now I'm just going to hand mash these, and you'll be able to tell if you need to add more. And I didn't add any almond milk, so I'm going to add some almond milk now. I've got some delicious unsweetened almond milk. Got to watch it. Sometimes you buy these almond milks and they're vanilla flavored, and that could throw this dish off a little bit. So you have to really look when you buy your almond milk. This looks great. The red potatoes with the red potatoes and the sweet potato. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful, power-packed with nutrition shepherd's pie crust. This is going to be absolutely fabulous. So I'm so excited for this. And you can definitely add some fresh parsley here too. I just was using things that I had in my fridge already today because I just thought of doing this at the spur of the moment. So there's many different things like fresh parsley and thyme and sage you could have added. And I could have added some Worcestershire sauce to this pie filling just like you would do with the meat, but I didn't have it on hand, so it's not a big deal. But you could, and I think that would be a nice touch. I'm going to add a little more of the almond milk to make this a little richer, a little fluffier. And I've got the oven on 350. It's all ready to go. And I tell you, we're close, and the timing is working out just perfect. What I'll do is I will post the finished product in a picture in the group, but I'm going to just get it ready and throw it in the oven and probably cook it for about 25 minutes or so. And, oh, this is looking awesome. Let me taste the potatoes. I love my potatoes. Mmm, delicious. Okay, so we got the flavor we're looking for with the potatoes. We're going to line the nice baking dish with your shepherd's pie vegan filling. Look at how beautiful that is. We're going to go ahead and line this because you just put the topping, the filling, and the topping is the mashed potatoes. And I think this is going to be a perfect amount for this pan. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So this is Shepherd's Pie, Episode 1, Girls Gone Vegan 2023. And I am super happy about this because this was really a spur-of-the-moment deal, but because we eat vegan so much, I had all these lovely ingredients right in my fridge. So I didn't have to go out and buy anything special. I didn't have to leave the house. I just had to set this up. And now I'm going to take a look at this beautiful mashed potato. Look at the color. The sweet potato and organic red potatoes, mashed potatoes. And now we're going to use that as the topping. And we're just going to top it deliciously. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. And I would say cook it 25, 30 minutes just to get it nice and see if your potatoes get a little browned on top. And oh my gosh, this is going to be great. Frank and I are going to love it. And like I say, I'm going to post the finished product. I will post later. But right now, we're going to just get it in the oven and let it cook. And you don't need to sit and watch the oven, do you? You've got things to do. But I tell you, this is something that is really delicious. It's great for March because this is a St. Patrick's meal. This is an Irish meal, just with a different twist. But traditionally, you know, it's Irish shepherd's pie. I worked in an Irish pub, and we had that on St. Patty's Day. But we are doing it vegan, baby. So we are doing it a little differently. This is full of nutrition. There's nothing bad in here. There's lots of delicious mashed potato and great filling and deliciousness. And we are going to be loving this, but we aren't going to be feeling guilty or have heartburn or feel anything horrible like we've eaten something that's not good for us. We're going to be feeling good. And this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm Stephanie Ann Hare, and this is Girls Gone Vegan with Stephanie Ann Hare. And this is episode 1, and I will be posting the recipe in the group. Episode 1 for 2023, the new and improved Girls Gone Vegan. And man, oh man, this is looking great. We've got 1 minute left. My timing is perfect. And look at what we've got. We have got a delicious looking shepherd's pie, ready for March, ready for St. Patty's Day, but a healthy shepherd's pie that you can eat, not feel guilty, and you are going to love it. It's going to be a great winter meal that you can serve to your family and friends over and over. So let's get it in the oven. And like I said, probably 25 to 30 minutes. Get it in there. Let the top get brown. I've got it at 350. And I will be posting the recipe in the group, Girls Gone Vegan with Stephanie Hare. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy to be back doing what I love in the kitchen and producing healthy meals that can not only taste good, make you feel satisfied, but reduce your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your cortisol, and all around help your cardiovascular health. I'm Stephanie Ann here for Girls Gone Vegan. Thank you for watching so much, and I will be back again soon. Make sure you join the group Girls Gone Vegan. It's on Facebook, and follow me. I also have a YouTube channel, so I'll see you over there also. So thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much.